birthday. But I'm now a threat to this nation, according to the powers that be. You guys are all extremists. Did y'all understand that? Did y'all get that?
Disgruntled veteran.
That was a Vietnam vet, came back in, they were treated pretty harshly. At that time, the protesters were the heroes. Well, now the conservatives, those who want small government, are speaking up, and they're afraid of us. It's amazing. I do want to say this. As our founders gave us our collective values in the Declaration. And they said we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. Among those are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I'm here because I raised my right hand 19 years ago, and I'm still serving, to serve the Constitution. And right now, our Constitution is being trampled.
Advocate for liberty. First of all, I want to thank you for your leaving and us and the people around the world.
Thank God for my country. I thank God for the liberty we are enjoying. Jesus said, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, to God that which is God's. President Obama, you're not God.
Fellow patriots of Charleston and South Carolina. Take a look around at these buildings. They have been ravaged in the past by earthquake, fire, hurricanes. They've been torn down, but guess what? The foundation is the same foundation. They have been rebuilt on that foundation. And the foundation, our foundation, is not broken. But the house in Washington is in disrepair. Let's send them a message. It's our opportunity. We will vote and make this a house, this old house, makeover edition in November of 2010. Taxed enough already.
Taxed enough already!
Taxed enough already.
Taxed enough already!
Taxed enough already.
Taxed enough already!
Statesmen. We don't have very many statesmen left in this country, but in South Carolina we have a statesman. What is a statesman? A statesman is a person who goes to Congress and does the right thing. A statesman doesn't count to party lines or special interest rule. A statesman does what is best for the United States of America. We also have a friend, and a friend looks out for you regardless of what. They don't turn their back on you, they stand up for you, and when other people are making fun of you or calling you right-wing extremists, they stand up for you. So today, I'd like to introduce a statesman and a friend to South Carolina, and y'all need to help us get him re-elected next year because we need Senator DeMint in the U.S. Congress.
I'm in the minority in Washington, even in the minority in my own party, sometimes. But today I feel like I'm standing with the majority of Americans when I'm standing with you. So thank you for being here to encourage us. You've probably figured out by now that the only change coming to Washington is a change that's coming from your pocket to Washington. And I'm glad you're here to help us stop. I'm not here as a Republican or as a conservative or even a I'm here as a fellow American who's concerned about the direction of our country. And I know that the only way we're going to change it is if you and your fellow Americans around this country decide to take their country back. And that begins today with this Tea Party. Thank you for your courage to be here. This is not about partisan politics. This is about what works. What makes America exceptional? What makes us unique? What gave us the best quality of life in the greatest country in the whole world? And that's not big government. What it is freedom. Freedom makes America work. Folks, it's limited government. It's a free people. It's free markets. It's the people taking responsibility for themselves and working hard, raising family, going to church. It's what you know that works. We can't replace that with big government and big taxes. Washington is out of control, and you know it. Americans everywhere, we all sense that something is desperately wrong. The problem is you've got 535 congressmen and senators who every couple of years they take an oath to the Constitution, which specifies a very limited form of government, but they walk away from that swearing, that ceremony, and they forget the Constitution. And they take all of their good intentions and they use your money to do every good deed that they can possibly imagine. Whether it's their earmarks or their special projects or their special interest favors, every bill now is rolled up with thousands of pork barrel projects, wasteful spending, and now we're at levels of debt and spending we've never even imagined in our country. I can promise you that the Congress is not going to change until Americans make them change. Until you help us stop them from saying one thing back here at home and voting another way in Washington. And that happens every day here. You know the answer. You know that big taxes mean big government, and it means a less powerful people. We need to cut our taxes, and we need real tax reform. I'm glad to see the fair tax people here today. We need a new tax code or we're going to run ourselves out of business as a nation. We need to let freedom work in education, in healthcare, in energy. Freedom has the power to make America as great and greater than it's ever been, and it's in our hands today. Let's don't leave it in the hands of politicians. Let's change things by starting and continuing what we're doing here today. We're going to take back our country. This is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people, and that's you folks. This is your country, and thank you for being here and taking it back today.
I really have just a couple of different questions since we agree on that larger notion of this being ultimately about liberty, and that is on where we go from here. So my questions are as follows. Do you want to add another $1 trillion in national debt to the government rolls this year?
No!
Do you want to raise taxes to pay for that debt this year?
No!
Do you think it's wise for government to spend more and run bigger deficits than we ever have before in the history of this country?
No!
Do you think it's wise for government to go out and bail out big auto companies, big banks, big insurance companies, and big state governments? That might be the case. And so I got an idea. Cal Thomas wrote an article in today's paper in which he said simply this: not a penny more. It seems to me that what today is fundamentally all about is that larger notion of drawing a line in the sand and saying, whether it's with big auto, whether it's with big insurance company, whether it's with big banks, or whether it's indeed with state governments, we have got to draw a line in the sand that says not a penny more until reforms and changes are made in every one of those institutions. So I guess my simple question would be, will we use this tax day as you go home tonight, and as talked to two